Hello and welcome to the Bank Holiday Survival Guide, a short podcast mini-series to help you enjoy this long weekend without falling into that usual all or nothing spiral. Whether your goal is fat loss, feeling healthier and more in control, or just not starting Tuesday in a hangover haze, these episodes are here to help keep you grounded, supported and in a good rhythm. This is the exact approach that we use within the TFP. There are no strict rules, no guilt, just the tools and strategies to help you feel good in your body and enjoy the life that you work so hard for. So let's get into it. And welcome to part 2, and I am so glad that you're here today because this is when things can start to feel a little bit wobbly. It's Saturday morning now and you've maybe had a glass of wine or 3 last night. Maybe you've already opened your Easter eggs. No judgment, I think when we save them for Easter. It's always a nice idea, but let's be honest, we always start eating them before Easter. Maybe you've eaten a little more than you expected already this weekend and you've got that little voice in your head that's creeping in saying, well, I've already gone a bit off plan, so I might as well carry on now and sort it out on Tuesday. If that sounds familiar, this episode is your reminder that you haven't ruined anything. You don't need to be perfect because nobody's perfect, and I think chasing perfection makes everybody miserable, but you also don't need to swing fully into fuck it mode because you can't be perfect. There is a middle ground that you get to choose, and it's one that actually feels good. Something I talk about a lot within the TFP and a lot with clients is the idea of snapping out of all or nothing thinking. It's something that a lot of professional women get caught in. I think it's something that a lot of professional women in particular struggle with. This idea that I'm either completely on it or I'm not, because most professional women, like I count myself in this bucket, we are high achievers, we are type A people, we like to do things well, we like to do things right. We like to be good at stuff, and when we can't do something how we intended, when with the intention that we went in with, the intentions that we set yesterday aren't met, it leaves us feeling crap. And so we go, well, you know what, fuck it. Like, let's wait until I can do it perfectly because then at least I'll be the best. But all or nothing thinking is so unhelpful because it's when you're trying to build habits that stick, there are always going to be roadblocks. And the truth is, you can enjoy this bank holiday. You can have the roast dinner or the chocolate or the cocktails or the wine or all of those cream eggs. You can do all of that. You just don't need to do it all at once just because it's a bank holiday this weekend. So here is the line that I want you to hold on today, your little mantra of the day. Be selective, not restrictive. You don't need to cut everything out to feel good, but you also don't need to say yes to everything in order to enjoy yourself. No is a really powerful sentence. Something I often talk about within the TFP is the law of diminishing returns. It's something that I'm going to use the example of cream eggs. I normally use Oreos within my coaching, but we'll use cream eggs today because it's almost Easter. That first cream egg you have is great. Like that first mouthful of cream egg, you're like, man, this is good. And you eat it in 2 mouthfuls because only a psychopath can get a whole cream egg in their mouth. You eat those 2 mouthfuls of cream egg and you're like, man, that's good. And then you maybe go and have another one and you have another bite of cream egg. And that second one, the pleasure you get from it is a little bit less than that first cream egg. If that first cream egg gave you a pleasure indicator of 2, that second one maybe gives you a pleasure indicator of 1.5. It's still giving you pleasure, but it's less. You then go and have a third cream egg, and at this point, it's tasty, but it's giving you nowhere near as much pleasure as the previous one. It's maybe down to like 0.5, half a pleasure point. If you were then to go and have a 4th cream egg, it would be negligible how much pleasure it was giving you. It would taste good, so you give it a little bit of a boost, but there'd be a bunch of negatives. You'd feel a bit sick, you'd feel a bit queasy, you'd feel full. You'd be eating it and you'd not be enjoying it as you're eating it, and it starts to become negative pleasure. You can almost plot this on a graph of the amount of pleasure you get per food. It goes down the more of it you have. So sometimes saying no to something allows you to enjoy the thing more. I'll give an example of myself this weekend. This weekend, I am spending Easter with my family. I'm at home, but I'm seeing family over the weekend. So what I'm doing is picking my non-negotiables. I know I'm going to have a big Easter Sunday dinner and I'm going to really enjoy that. I know I'm probably going to want some chocolate over the course of the weekend, so I'm going to really prioritize having a few bits of Easter chocolate. I know that I will have plenty of wine, particularly at my Easter dinner with my family because they drink a lot. I'm actually going out for a meal on Saturday evening for my mum's birthday, so I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to make sure that I really enjoy that, and I will drink some wine and I will have a lovely meal, and I will look forward to those things. But it doesn't mean that every meal I have over this weekend needs to be a complete blowout feast. I don't need to have hot cross buns for breakfast. I don't need to eat all of my Easter eggs over the course of the weekend. I don't need to have a takeaway every single day. It's not about feeling guilty. It's just about choice for me. I'm not doing those things because I feel bad about them. I'm doing them because they're not adding to my pleasure. When everything is a treat, nothing feels special. In order for a meal to feel like a real indulgence, it has to be something that happens once in a blue moon. If you lived in an all-inclusive resort, none of that food would feel great. But when you go on holiday for a week, that stuff feels amazing. It's the same this weekend. When you do everything or have everything just because it's there, you end up finishing the weekend feeling uncomfortable, feeling disconnected from your body, and like you need to make up for it. So I want you to take a second to ask yourself, what are the parts of this weekend I really want to enjoy? What meals or treats or experiences will actually feel memorable or meaningful to me? And where am I eating or drinking out of habit or FOMO or I should because it's here? And every time you're eating something or having something or making a choice, asking yourself if it's really adding to your pleasure, if it's really making things better for you, or if you're just doing it because the previous time you had it, it was pleasurable. The truth is, you can have chocolate next week. Like, the Easter eggs aren't going to run out just because it's not Easter anymore. Your Easter eggs can last you as long as you want. My mum, it's a bit of a side note, but my mum, when we were kids, was a bit of a psychopath about this, and she would make us make our Easter eggs last as long as possible. It almost became a competition, like how long we could get our Easter chocolate to last. I'm sure it probably messed up my relationship with food a little bit, but it's true, like, your Easter eggs can last as long as you want. You can even freeze them, which sounds ludicrous. If you're worried about the hot cross buns running out in the shops, which I know my boyfriend is, go and buy a bunch of them and freeze them. We've still got mince pies in the freezer from Christmas. You can go out for a nice meal next weekend too. You can have a roast dinner next weekend too. You are not running out of chances to enjoy food. One of my favourite mantras with the TFPers is food will always be there. Indulgence doesn't mean excess, and enjoyment doesn't mean guilt. You're allowed to enjoy your food and not spiral. You're allowed to eat a bit more than usual and not feel the need to overcorrect. If your intention this weekend was to keep a bit of structure, that's still possible as well. You don't have to throw everything out of the window just because you've already had a more indulgent moment, and you don't have to think fuck it because you know a more indulgent moment might be coming up. You can still stick with your usual breakfast tomorrow morning even if you know you're having a Sunday lunch later in the day. You can still get out for a walk to clear your head and reconnect with your body even if going to the gym's not an option this weekend. You can still drink some water before reaching for some snacks just to give yourself a little bit of a chance to think. You can still pause before dessert and ask yourself, do I really want this, or am I eating it because it's there? These little moments of just taking a step back and getting back in control, they can completely shift the narrative of this weekend. It's not about being overly controlled or restrictive, it's just being self-aware. It's coming back to those two questions from yesterday as well. What will I remember and what might I regret? Let those be your guide. You are doing great, you really are. I will see you tomorrow for part 3, where we're going to talk about how to actually enjoy the moment, not just the food.